Look what's back. Remember this? 2 OE remanufactured Ford ones, and they would not even they wouldn't even try to charge the battery in this thing. And then we went through 3 AutoZone Golds, 2 4Gs and 1 6G, and they would charge, but the battery light would stay on. And then we took this Napa Power Premium Plus, whatever in here, and it was charging and turns the light off. Well, a customer said that it ended up, the light after like a week of driving ended up coming back on again, and now it's back here again for a malfunctioning charging system. So I added grounds to it, checked grounds, checked body grounds, checked all the grounds. All the grounds are good on this thing. So now what I need to do is I need to get the battery charged back up, because for some reason it was dead when I went out there. I'm wondering if this battery is the issue, but it's supposed to be a brand new battery. And I don't know, I don't like these cheaper Duralast ones, so I'm thinking about actually throwing a Ford battery in here. Let's see what happens. Now what I've done is I blew all this off and got all the debris and stuff out of here. I noticed this was completely plugged up and it wasn't draining. So it is draining now. I got all the debris out of that. I noticed that this grommet was popped out right here, where this harness and stuff is that goes down to like the main connectors and stuff. This grommet was popped out of here and it was dripping water down on the main PCM harness right there. So I blew most of that out. Now it's draining over here like it's supposed to. You see it dripping right there. Before it wasn't. And then that right there, the center drain was plugged up, and now it's dripping like it's supposed to. It had leaves and debris and stuff in it, which pushing stuff over here, and there was a big ice chunk in the back of this connector right here that had that pushed out, and water was dripping right on top of the PCM. I also added an additional ground over here to the side to the battery, and then an additional ground from back there behind the trans dipstick up front to the alternator temporarily. Well, I've been running this thing now for a few hours with those 2 new grounds on it and the Motorcraft battery instead of the frozen Duralast. I'm about to go in here right now and see how this Duralast tested and go from there, but I don't have a single charge light on. It's been sitting right at with lights on, the air conditioning on, the heat on, everything on, the radio on. It ain't skipped a beat. Not a single charge light or anything came on. So I'm gonna go back in here and see how this Duralast battery tested. Maybe it's, I don't even know if it's done testing, because that damn Rotunda load tester takes forever. It said when I left earlier, it said it was 1 hour and 8 minutes before the test was going to be complete and done. So let's see where we're at. We may just have to have the customer drive it and hope that it was just a couple more grounds added to it that was the issue, or maybe it just had a freak issue with the alternator and the frozen battery is causing it to act up. I mean, that's plausible, but don't know for sure. I don't know if anybody's interested, but this customer did say that he'd be interested in selling this town car. It's 141,000 miles on it. It ain't perfect. It's got a little bubble right there by the chrome. Some of the bottom of the door chrome slivers are coming off, but it's a beautiful car. Got a little dent right there in the middle of the hood. The interior ain't perfect, but if somebody's interested, let me know. Well, it looks like the battery tested good. It didn't fail. So I called an alternator builder up, and he said, I'm going to give you a tip. That big yellow and white wire right here, the one that goes in that, it's got to travel around. It's got to travel around in that harness, and it's got to go back over to that battery box. It's really stupid how Ford set that up, because all it is a battery sense wire. Why does it go back to a box or get tied into the main power line to sense off the main power line, when you can literally just go right to the stud of the alternator? Because it detects key on voltage and operating voltage. That's the only. So just jump it over there with an eyelid, put it right on, eliminate all that crap wire where it can corrode out, and then see what you got. Well, the voltage came up with everything on. I'm talking the blower on, the lights on, everything on. It dropped down to 12.65 volts loaded, which is a little low. It should be around 13 volts or higher, even with everything loaded. So I did his little trick, and I jumped the loop over and put the eyelid up, and it came up to 12.88 volts, and it kind of stayed right at 12.88 to 12.91. So it did help a little bit. But I'm skeptical on whether or not it fixed the problem. I guess at this point I just let it go. See if the customer has the same issue. That's all I can do. I don't know what else to do. The charge light doesn't come on for me. It doesn't stop charging the battery or anything. It just operates 100% beautiful. I ran new ground wires and stuff in that I'll end up dressing up eventually. But I can't find a problem with it. I just don't like on the loaded voltage it drops down. And then I tried to find a interceptor alternator, and I can get a Denso interceptor alternator, but it's $571 and you have to order it and wait for it. Yeah, I'm not doing that. Well, let's see what happens. If we return the vehicle, let the customer drive it, see if it works out for him. Y'all be blessed.